Why are you saying Russia has won this war? If I look at our media in Switzerland, in Germany, I get a totally different picture. The journalists are writing, well, there are some difficulties in the Ukraine offensive. The former British Prime Minister has just written a great essay after his travels to Kiev, saying that the Ukraine can still win this war. We have to move up our assistance. We have to send even more weapons. In Germany, the media and politicians continue to say the opposite.
Well, I can answer the second part first. Your media and your politicians are lying, and they know they're lying. Straight up know they're lying. A former British Prime Minister writing this essay, he wrote it for political effect, not because he's telling the truth. He's a liar. And I would tell any one of your reporters to their face, they're liars. And if they challenge me, I'll say, I'll tell you what, come with me. The next time Germany provides a shipment of modern weaponry to Ukraine, come with me. Let's get on one of those tanks. Let's ride it to the front, and let's join the victorious Ukrainian army that you write so, because clearly you interact with them. You've been to the front line, right? You've been in the leading element of the attack. You've seen this great Ukrainian victory. Ride with me to victory. Let's go. None of them will do it because they all know what the result will be. They'll be dead before they get there, because that's the reality. Every one of your reporters are liars. Every one of their editors are liars. And again, please sue me. Sue me for defamation. I will take you to court. I will insist on full disclosure, and you will go down in flames because you're liars, every one of you. Any word you write is true. Is the Russians are prevailing on the battlefield. They're slaughtering the Ukrainians. This is why your reporters won't go to the front line, because they'll be dead reporters. This is the statement of fact. The Russians have defeated the Ukrainian army. To provide bunker-busting missiles. Is this a new concept? Did Germany invent bunker-busting missiles? I'm just curious, because I imagine the Russians have never heard of bunker-busting missiles. So therefore, when they're used by the Ukrainians against the Russians, this will be a miracle weapon that will cause the Russians to panic and surrender, and the war will be over. Or is this missile actually well known to everybody? It's been around. It has a limited utility. It will kill some Russians, but the end result will be nothing. Because in war, people die. Weapons kill people. This is not a miracle weapon. Didn't the Germans learn about that? Didn't you believe at one point in time that the V1 and V2 were miracle weapons, that if you use them against the British, they would surrender? How'd that work out for you? It didn't work out very well. None of your weapons are miracle weapons. There's no such thing as a miracle weapon. What is a miracle are the troops in the weapons. They make the weapons work. And right now, the Russian troops are 10 times better than the Ukrainian troops, not because the Ukrainian troops don't have heart or courage, but how can you man these miracle weapons provided by the West when you have 21 days basic training and maybe 5 more weeks of advanced training? What does it take to train a German soldier? I imagine it's more than 21 days. And if you have a German soldier involved in complex combined arms warfare, I would imagine it would take about 1.5 to 2 years to train that soldier. Why does Germany believe that the Ukrainian soldiers can do in 2.5 months what it takes the Germans 2 years to accomplish in terms of training? This is why Ukraine's losing the war, because Germans have caused their defeat. British have caused their defeat. Americans have caused their defeat, because we're asking them to do something they literally cannot do. How long does it take to train a Leopard tank operator to be competent in all aspects of tactical warfare? A heck of a lot longer than the Ukrainian forces were trained on them. And yet you're asking them to take this tank and lead it in to a combat assault breaching operation, the most complex form of offensive military action ever, without the training, the experience, or the familiarity with the equipment. Shame on Germany. Shame on Europe. Shame on America. You're responsible for the deaths of 500,000 Ukrainian men. I hope everybody hangs their head in shame when that awful reality sets in on them.